and nobody's gonna do nothing about it. Nobody. Yeah.
Hola YouTube, my name is Ricardo Lino and I'm a wheel addict. In yesterday's video, you saw me doing the unbox of this skate. This is the Razor's Shift 2. That video was filmed when I was in Portugal a few weeks ago. Since then, I did give a few tries to this skate. I skated them with this frame and I also skated them with a 125mm UFS frame from Ground Control that comes with this sole plate, which is the Razor's Cosmo sole plate. Well, let's talk a little bit about it, and I'm going to start by talking about the stock skate, which is again the Razor's Shift 2. What do we have here? So starting from the top, the liner. The liner actually works really good. I couldn't really explain what type of material this is, and I still can't. What I can tell is that somehow the material, it looks like a pajama. I don't know if you can say that. It's cozy. It's a super cozy material and felt soft, but at the same time not too soggy. You know, sometimes the materials are too soft and they don't give you enough support. So let me just take the liner off. So the screw that just fell, it's because I did do the whole review without any screws attaching the sole plate to the boot. I really wanted to test it, so another one. I felt like it's supportive, that's for sure. The top of the liner, it's harder than the bottom of the liner. The front, it does have the stitching here, but you do not feel it from the inside. I know that a lot of liners in the market right now, the front material is kind of like expandable, more like a neoprene. The material that they use on the surf wetsuits, which they don't use on the Rhine, but it could also be because of my sizing, but I didn't felt like I needed it. The liner felt comfortable, it felt supportive, and I usually don't like liners that have like the top of the foot here, it's hard. And I remember that all the Rhine liners back in the day, even the Razor's liners, they usually are like that. But on this one, I don't know if it's because of the shell boot or if it's because of the laces here. I actually didn't felt anything wrong with it. I do know that the laces always kept the tongue in the right position. Also the material, like I said, the one that looks like a pajama, it makes a really good job on keeping the tongue in the same position. So didn't give me any pressure points on this boot with this liner. It actually works really good. The skate holder that some people sometimes use as a, I don't even know how to call it, as a way to pull your feet in, skate puller, I don't know how you can call that, but some people sometimes use this with a lot of strength trying to put their feet in. You know what, I tried it, I didn't have any problems, so it's still here. The stitching is not that strong around that area, but you know what, no problems at all. So as a liner, well, really good. Shock absorbing on the liner, well, it has a little bit of a shock absorbing on the insole, which, well, I don't really think it was needed, but it also didn't make any damage. Lately I've been skating a lot with really stiff inner soles, which is completely different from these, but I didn't felt any loss of performance for using like shock absorbing on the inner sole and another shock absorber here, which is like I showed you in the unboxing video. It's thick. This is really big. I didn't felt the skate slower because of this, but we'll get there in a second. I felt the skate comfortable again, so the mix of these shock absorber with this liner on this boot, it felt good. I also didn't felt like I was disconnected to the boot while grinding, because sometimes when you use a lot of stuff in between your foot and your grinding surface, sometimes you lose that sense of grinding, which I didn't felt like I lost. I think the skate is actually really well built, and I still felt sensitivity on my sole tricks, if that makes sense for you. So that's a good thing. And then again, because of the lacing of the liner, I feel like I don't need to have the cuff super tight. Something that I started doing with my first ANs, I started lacing the liner a lot, and then would give me the possibility of not tightening the cuff that much. It also works with these skates, so that was a good thing. So comfort wise, they passed the test. I'm not going to talk a lot more about the things that I already spoke about in Indian boxing, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about the performance. So I started from the top, like I said, it's comfortable. The noise that these skates make kills me. The famous razor squeaking, it's just weird. Every time there's any movement of the cuff, you'll like, I can show you, just check this out. It's annoying, but at the same time, if you look at it, that means that something is happening here. That means that the cuff is doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's supposed to give you lateral support, but it's supposed to move back and forward, right? So you're supposed to have some forward flex, and it does that. I do know that a lot of people has been waxing the inner part of the cuff or waxing the boot so that it doesn't make that noise or reduces that noise. I didn't do that, so sometimes I wish I was skating with headphones. As a boot, like I did skate the previous Razor's boot, which was the SL boot. I used to love how easy it was to do some of the tricks. I didn't felt like I lost any of that easiness to do the tricks with these skates. So as an aggressive skating trick skate for grinds, if you want to say it, they work amazing. For top sides, they were not too hard. Obviously the sole plate is super wide, and because the cuff is doing a good job, well, it was not too hard to do top sides. Negative tricks, you know what? I didn't really try negative tricks. Damn it. I didn't do one single negative trick. But just by holding the skate, it's gonna be way too easy to do negative tricks with this one. The reason why I say that it's actually super well aligned. Some of the skates, sometimes you feel like when you're skating, the frame might not be fully centered or might be a little bit twisted to one of the sides. As an example, with the first Remedies open shell, it was harder for me to do negatives because I felt like my feet were always bending the top side way. Then I know that they corrected that on the latest versions, but on this skate, it just, I don't think I'm going to have any problem doing negatives, so I'm not even going to stay on the negatives. Top sides easy, sole tricks, they were super fast. I know that these two little buttons here, they're not done with the intention of reducing the sole surface, but they do, you know what? These little pieces are in, so it's a little bit less surface touching while they're grinding, so faster. I'm not saying it's because of it, but they were fast. I was skating in a bowl that usually it's not waxed, and I didn't felt any stickiness. Royal tricks with this frame. At first, I hated it. Why? I hated it because I felt like the frame was super low and I felt like I wouldn't need to bend my foot. But the reason why I felt that way, it's because I've been skating a higher frame. I've been skating the Wish frames where I need to bend my foot a lot more. So it was so weird for me at first to get into Royale tricks because I felt like I was doing a Royale with my foot just like this. If I do this is a Royale. And on my other skates, I need to do this. So this difference, at first I didn't like it, but once I skated them a little bit more, then I really enjoyed it. And for torque tricks, that made it amazing. So backslides and torque tricks with these skates were super easy. So if that's one of the tricks that you like to do and you want to keep doing them, or if you just want to learn those tricks and if you don't have a skate that you feel it's that easy. With this skate, it's actually super easy to do either backslides or torque tricks. So that's a big plus. And I guess everyone would like these skates for royal tricks. It was just me because I've been used to something else. Keep going. Something that I don't like about these is the anti-rockers, and it's not because it's the ground control or it's the Kaiser or undercover or whatever. It's just noisy and it just annoys me so much. So that was something that I didn't like. Imagine I was skating and I was the squeaking plus the noise of the anti-rockers. It's super easy to fix. I would rather probably skate without them, or I would change the frame. Even if this frame is good, this frame is amazing, this frame is fast. When I wanted to do top sides would be fast, soul tricks, but at the same time royals and backslides and torques. Like I said before in the unboxing video, I didn't like the previous version. Every time that I would backslide, I would feel it wouldn't be consistent the way you used to slide because of the frame being too soft. Now with the frame this much harder, it's good. Now I do know that on this frame, which is the latest version, which is not that new, of the ground control frame, they did change the little washers that they have on the frame from plastic to aluminum, and it's supposed to make the skate faster. I didn't felt like these wheels were the fastest ones on the market, but also I'm not used to skate anti-rockers, so going from a flat setup to skating on 2 wheels only, it feels a little bit slower. And then because of the shock absorber, which yes, it makes the skate super comfortable, but then because your heel is a little bit higher, then you lean forward with 2 wheels only, makes the skate feel a little bit slow at first. After a little bit, I didn't really felt like the skate was slower than the others. It was just a question of getting used to it. And I guess that's it. It's like a really well built skate. It works amazing. I didn't use the screws that are supposed to be used to fix the sole plate. I didn't use them because I wanted to use these ones, and that's what I'm going to talk about right now. So as an aggressive skate, I would totally tell you, yes, go for it. Also, if you only have one pair of skates, or if you only have space for one pair of skates, or if you don't want to change from one pair of skates to the other, but you also want to have big wheels, this could be a really good option. Now, the final test will be this one. Check this. It's noisy, huh? To start off, but that's me, I cannot really press the buttons. I always need to have a little tool to change it, but I don't think that's the problem. Then, super easy to change. That's super easy to take this frame away. Now, the problems for me started when I had to change from the small wheels to the big wheels. I always have a little bit more difficulty. That's why I said this is a test. Let's see if I can do it now. If I can do it now, then it's just me. Oh, that did. And that did. So, see? I did it. I guess it was mainly me, but I have to admit that it was harder for me to change from these to these than to change from these to that. When I had the big wheels, when I skated to the skate park on the big wheels, and when I got there and I wanted to change to the aggressive skating frame, it seriously took me 15 seconds, not more than that. But to change from these to these, it was always a little bit harder for me. I don't know if it's because the sole space is smaller, so it makes a little bit more pressure. I don't know if it's my skate, if it's my sole plate. It was a little bit harder for me to change from small wheels to big wheels than from big wheels to small wheels. I guess that's not really a problem. Again, you get used to it. Now, I could not do it with fingers like some people can do it. Some people say that they just press here on these 2 buttons and they can change it. I couldn't. I always had to use a tool, even if it's just to press there. Something really important, even when I skate them with the big wheels, I never used the screws fixing the sole plate, I never got any problem, even with all the torsion that you have when you skate a taller frame, because this is a 125. A lot of people that skate these skates with 110s. The 125 is the one that gives you the most torsion, but I wanted to try these boots with the 125 because that would be the best way for me to test them. What did I thought about this? Now, the skate that I just spoke about will be called the Shift 2. This skate, just like that, is sold as the Cosmo. Not like this, because I think the Cosmo can come as a 110. But the tri-skate from Razors with this sole plate, it's called the Razors Cosmo. As someone who usually skates on free skates almost every day, something like, even like this, which is a carbon boot. If I would compare this boot with this, I mean, like, check the size of the heel on this one. This is a carbon skate which is made for slalom skaters, which need their foot to always be touching each part of the skate. There's no free space inside a skate like this, you know? There's every single part of the skate is touching your foot. On a skate like this, it's completely different. You look at this, it's a lot bulkier. Even if as an aggressive skate is not too wide, it's a lot bulkier. And maybe that's one of the reasons why the Razors Cosmo, and that's something that I didn't say before, they come with a 45-degree buckle. Basically, there's something you're pulling your heel. But you know what? I've seen a few reviews on the internet where people say that they felt like they were needing this buckle. Being as honest as I can, I didn't really felt that. They worked really nice as a 125 skate. If I could have more than one skate and if I could choose a specific 125 skate, I would not choose this one. But it does work really well as a 125 skate. So if I want to keep one skate, if I want to have an aggressive skate with an option to go big wheels, this is actually a really nice option. I didn't felt my heel moving a lot inside. I do know that a lot of the people that made that test used a different liner. With this liner, with the Rhine liner, with the laces tight properly, I didn't felt my foot moving a lot inside. But again, I wasn't doing slalom tricks or anything like that. I might have done a few toe rolls. I did try a few slides. That's something that I'm going to talk about right now. So these wheels, they are the grippiest wheels that I've ever tried in my whole life. I've never skated a set of wheels with the same grip as these ones. Obviously, I didn't skate them for a long time, and I know that after going through this layer, they're gonna get actually normal. But this first layer, I've never felt any wheels as grippy as these, for the good and the bad. Yes, it's amazing if you want to skate for more control. And if you don't really control slides, then a grippy wheel, it's actually amazing. You can just turn whenever you want. You can do tight turns without being scared of your skate sliding. It's good. Now, for me, this was weird because I'm so used to use the slides, even as the way to control my skates, that having such grippy wheels sometimes made my experience not as enjoyable. But obviously, again, if I skate through these wheels, I know that this layer will come out and then they will be good. Now, these wheels, compared to these ones, it's a whole different thing. Even if the skate is still leaning forward a little bit, they were fast. These were fast. Compared to the other ones, it's just like, you know that 8 and 80? It's basically the same. Those are the 8, these are the 80. These wheels were fast. Fast and grippy. Again, for slides it was kind of weird. So when I was on the skate park, I know that this is not a skate for skate park, but on a skate park, a way for me to test the grip on the wheels, it's usually just go up a quarter pipe, and then I know that I usually can never stay on a certain angle of the quarter pipe and just stay there. And with these wheels, that happened. I could just stay like this. It was just so weird. But again, I know that a lot of people will like this. It's just, for my type of skating, new wheels was weird. But weird not in a bad way, just different from what I'm used to. The frame is super, super solid. You can see that it's thick. And I believe that this frame can also work with other boots. So I'll be trying this frame on also my USD Suedes, which as a UFS boot, it's been my UFS boot that I've been using for all my UFS skates with big wheels, like when I skate Trimax or when I want to try like a bigger power blading frame, 80 millimeters, that would be the boot that I use. So now I'm interested in trying these UFS frame also in that boot, because I really believe that this frame is super stiff and strong and can be actually super nice. I might also try this frame with smaller wheels just to play around with it, or I can even maybe put like a smaller wheel just in front, try it a little bit rockered, and that's it. I also use this sole plate, which again, it's not made for grinds. I tried them for a few grinds and I could do some fish brains. I didn't really try to do top soles because I was scared of the wheels being too sticky, but as a macchio or a fish brain grinding skate, they do work. So that was it. I enjoyed the skates a lot, and again, I would totally advise you to get these skates, especially if you don't have a lot of space for skates, or if you don't want to buy another pair of skates, and if you're already an aggressive skater, and again, especially if you have a set of these. All you need to do is just to buy a frame, and it's easy. It just takes 5 seconds to do, maybe 2 minutes with me, but with you might be 5 seconds. And by the way, if you want to get these skates with 10% discount, you can use code Lino at bladeville.com or edenskate.com, and that's it. Skates will be cheaper for you. So, and that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you did enjoy this video, do not forget to give me some thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, you can give me thumbs down, but hey, let me know what you didn't like about this video. What did I do wrong here? Was it because I took too long to put these ones? Anyway, also super important, if you're not subscribed to the channel, now might be the time to do it. If the subscribe little logo, it's in the collar of my beanie, once you press on it, it's gonna become gray. Once it's gray, there will be a bell showing on the side. If you press on that bell, you will get notifications every time I upload one of these videos. Now, something that I always say that I don't want you to ever forget is why we all started skating, because it's fun. Cheers guys, and see you soon.